easy go.
What's going on, Buc Bros casters? We've got Buc Bro Ryan, John, and Bryce with us, or Hustle Sauce. Yeah.
Hey, what's up, Buc Bros? Welcome back. Glad you're joining with us again.
So we got another update on the Bucs offseason. The schedule was just dropped, an hour and a half ago. We're gonna go through them, what the schedule is, what we think the outcome of the game's gonna be, and individually gonna piece together some records. So sit tight. Let's go through the schedule.
Y'all want to start with the preseason or just jump right to the regular season?
I think regular season.
Regular.
Do preseason, but let's talk about what actually matters.
Let's skip the non-factor games and go straight to week 1 at New Orleans. What y'all got? What do you think of Bryce? Week 1 home opener.
All right, week 1 at New Orleans. So this is obviously, I think, going to be probably the toughest game of the season, just because 1, division opponent, 2, one of the strongest teams in the NFC. We're obviously competing with them. Now, here's the hope. In the last time we played Saints, week 1 at the Saints, there's a little of Fitz magic in the air, and we, maybe Brady can repeat the Fitz magic and throw for 400, 500 yards and 4 touchdowns.
Yeah.
I don't see that happening though. Unfortunately, I'm gonna chalk this one up to an L. I just think it's gonna take some time for our team to kind of gel together, and going against the Saints at their home, it's always a hard task to win. So unfortunately, I see us coming out of the gate 0-1 on this one.
Yeah, I got us in the same boat again. I think it is a tough opener. You get a lot of hype with the Breeze, Brady. Now they're in the same division, but again, a lot of new pieces, especially with that all-in-ever important quarterback change. I just think that it's a little bit too much to overcome, especially with the Saints roster. So I got us losing as well. 0-1 out the gate.
And I do not. Those times where I firmly believe that our team is going to rise to the occasion. I saw it at the beginning of last season. I saw Ryan Fitzpatrick go into the Superdome and bring the house down and show what this team is truly capable of, putting our weapons on display. Guys like Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, really showing what this offense was capable of. And I think Tom Brady is able to do that, even with it being the first week of the season, even with perhaps the off season not going the way we expected to and training camps be shortened. I think the Bucs get a much needed and much deserved win to start the season against the New Orleans Saints. I think we take it to them, and the primetime display gets started week 1.
You're not going to hear any different that we deserve a lot more wins. So, all right, we got John with the W. All right, next up, we got a home game against the Panthers, another division game. So 2 division games to start off. This one's at 1 o'clock. Let's start with John. We ended with you. Let's start with John now. How do you think we're going to do at home against the Panthers?
This has all the makings of a classic Bucs loss. It is a meaningless 1 o'clock game, second week of the season against a division rival that is in rebuild mode, and they've got washed up former Buccaneers on their defense. This screams 2-touchdown loss. Everything that I know about the Buccaneers leads me to believe Gerald McCoy is going to get a sack or 2. We're going to throw some picks. This will be the week, if there is a week this season where the Bucs offense doesn't gel, needs its time to come together, it'll be in this game. For me, this is probably going to be, if we have an early season loss, this is where it's going to happen.
John's got the L. Okay.
I hate to burst your bubble, John, but Gerald McCoy plays for the Dallas Cowboys now, so I don't think he'll be having any sacks in this game.
Thank the Lord.
But in any case, I see the exact opposite. Okay, I think this is one where this is our coming out party. I really think that this is going to be one. Okay, week 1, there were some flaws or some errors, some hiccups here and there. Obviously, teams starting to be in the preseason, but obviously, I doubt Brady or Brock or any of those players can play significant time in the preseason. But I think this is where we come out and we put our foot down and we just show that we're the superior team on paper and on the field to the Carolina Panthers. So here I've got us multiple touchdown winners in this one. So I put a W up in this column.
Big win. Okay. I'm going to kind of go in the balance between you two. So I do think we win this game. I kind of think it's similar to what our week 1 loss will be for the Panthers. They got too much that they switched up. New head coach, Luke Kuechly retired, Greg Olson's not on the team, got new Teddy Bridgewater, new quarterbacks. They just got too many new pieces. They're still going to be figuring stuff out. And I'm hoping that our team, with some of the old pieces we still have here, will have a little bit ahead of the game in figuring out. I don't think we'll have a giant win, but I do think we'll come out with a win. And I hope it's one of those wins that really checks the team to kind of get some resolve in them. It seems like those are the ones that really set the team on pace to a good season. So I'll get us a win, but not as big.
So we're off. I think altogether we're all off to a 1-1 start. So 500 through 2 games. Week 3, we go into Denver. It's a 4:25 game. Let's start with you, Ryan. What do you think for Denver? At Denver.
Tough game at Mile High, notorious stadium. But I got to think – it really depends. But I got to think that I think we're going to win this one just from the onset of they've got so many new weapons and they've got a young team, Drew Lock at quarterback. I think the experience shows on our team on the offensive side with Tom Brady, even though they've got really good pass rushers like Von Miller and Bradley Chubb. I think our experience on offense kind of gives us the tip of the scale. We'll win, again, not by a large margin, but, enough to get us over the hump. So I got it 2-1.
John?
This is where I see the Bucs beginning to build momentum. I think we go into Denver and we bring the pain. I think everything is on display. I think you see good things out of Gronk, good things out of O.J. Howard. I think you'll see good things out of the kicking specialists, the punters, and our place kickers. This is going to be a great game for us to establish ourselves on a multi-game winning streak. I think this is where it starts. This is where we start to become that primetime team.
Yeah, I'm actually with you, John. I think the same. I think again, we're just a superior team to the Broncos in both offense and defense. Maybe, they'll obviously have the home field advantage, but I just think we're that much of a better team. And I agree with you. I think that's where our momentum for the season starts to build, and we start to see, what we normally would see from a Brady, led team is just a focus and a willingness to just put your foot on the pedal and never let up. So I agree. I see us winning this game.
All right. So we're all starting 2-2. That's the first one we all have a consensus on. All consensus wins.
2-1. 2-1.
Oh, sorry. 2-1. So we jump to week 4 again. Back at home, we've got this Los Angeles Chargers, 1:00, week 4. And we'll start with Bryce here. Chargers at home, week 4.
All right, Chargers at home, week 4. So, like we had said, I still think if you look at it on paper, we are the superior team to the Chargers. I again think that we have more, they're going to have a really good offense. I mean, well, it depends on the quarterback, right? They got Tyrod or maybe Justin Herbert takes over. We'll see. But advantage to the Bucs, and I again think they will take advantage of that, and we'll win this one. Yeah, I think this one will be a little closer, just in the way the NFL works. But I see us pulling out the W in this one as well.
All right, we got a W there, John.
So I'm also going to go with the W in this situation. I agree with Bryce. We are vastly the superior team here. They don't have a quarterback that is a set, day one starter. I think this may be the game where the Bucs defense starts to shine for the season. There's going to be a lot of talk going into the season and probably through the first few games about the Bucs offense and obviously with Brady and Gronk and the things that have changed. But I think this is a golden opportunity for a savage Bucs defense that we worked so hard to improve and worked so hard to keep together from last season. I think this is an opportunity for them to get a win by themselves. I think this is another W for the Bucs.
Yeah, I'm really just going to iterate what John just said. I think this is kind of the defense's game. Tyrod Taylor, really young. They have Keenan Allen, but we don't know what he's going to look like with the new quarterback. I think our defense kind of feasts on Tyrod and causes some crucial turnovers that Tom Brady takes advantage of. So I got us winning and winning in a big fashion.
All right, and then we are going on to a game at Chicago. This is going to be a 8 o'clock game, local time there in Chicago. So this should be a beautiful game on a Thursday night. And let's go with Bryce. Start us off.
All right, so the last time we played in Chicago, it did not go too well for us.
Mimosa John.
Didn't go too well for me either.
Again, it's hard because I know it's gonna be a tough environment, especially a Thursday night game up there. But it's not in December; it's gonna be in October, so the weather's not gonna be terrible. And again, it's just they're gonna have a tough defense for sure. It's gonna be a low scoring game in my opinion. Our defense is gonna come to play. Their defense is gonna come to play. But when you just put the matchup between Brady and Trubisky, I'm going to take Brady 10 out of 10 times. So, again, I just see this as a W. It's going to be a hard-fought W. It's going to be one that is won, by a turnover or a change of game kind of play. But I have the Bucs winning out on this one.
What you thinking, Ryan?
Yeah, honestly, it's Khalil Mack scares me, especially with if the projections are right and Tristan Wirfs is up against him. I'm so afraid of that. But to me, it's, again.
Do we think Wirfs is going to be the left tackle over Donovan Smith? I mean, I think Donovan is the incumbent, so I wouldn't think he would get that start.
And but I mean, Khalil lines up on both sides. So I was thinking right tackle, but
all right. Okay.
Khalil will line up over. So
got it.
But yeah, it's to me, it's like Khalil Mack scares me, but really nobody else on the Bears does, especially on the offensive side. So is Khalil Mack better than our team as a whole? I would like to think not. So I'm going to go with the paper score here. What the paper tells me is the Bucs win this one. Bucs win. A tough environment, probably a tough game, but a win nonetheless.
I'm going to agree with you guys and say a Bucs win. However, I think this is going to be a game where we as Bucs fans feel like this is going to be a tough win because of what we know of the Bucs team. This is where I think Tom Brady brings his leadership, brings that winning mentality to the Bucs, and helps us get over the hump. This is normally a game where we would struggle, and I would like to see this be a game where maybe we thrive a little bit in an environment maybe where we shouldn't. They have questions at quarterback. We do not. The Vegas odds makers are saying Foles may start for the Bears. This is week 5. They may be in the middle of playing quarterback, carousel there. They may be trading people out. We know who we're starting. I would like to see Tom Brady rise to the occasion and lead our team to a W in a tough environment. I think this is a win we get, and I think it's one that we're going to need.
Yeah, and I'm thinking too. We're going to be coming off it's going to be a short week, right? So we're coming off a Sunday game and then going into a Thursday night game. I just see this as being an ugly game in general. But again, it's Brady versus Trubisky. Brady is going to come focused.
Or Foles.
Right, and I'm going to go Brady over Foles as well.
The Foles Trubisky versus Brady. I am still taking Brady. So that. If we were talking Winston versus those two, I'd have this chalked up as a loss immediately because that's just how the Bucs are. But I think Brady's just going to bring that stability that we've desperately needed for the last couple of years, to where what you're going to get out of the quarterback position.
And it's not as if they have a high-powered offense that is going to be able to stay in the game with a high-scoring Bucs offense. So really, like Ryan said, this is a game where the Bears defense would have to win it for them. And you would have to believe that Khalil Mack can't cover Chris Godwin and Rob Gronkowski. And he can't do it. He can't do it all on his own. And he may be able to wreak a little havoc on the offensive line. And we've got, these rookies coming in, and that may be the case. But Brady's going to find a way to get the ball out to his receivers. And we're going to score. And I don't see the Bears offense being able to match our ability to score. I just don't see them being able to do that.
Yeah, I agree, but I really don't see it being a high scoring. This is one where I think if we're going to have if we're going to have a great season, this is where we're going to have that running game kind of come into play to kind of help, keep Khalil Mack in check from just rushing the quarterback every single time because there's no threat of a run game.
And luckily, we got a check down running back,
Right. Well, we can talk about this all the time, but let's continue. We got we got plenty more games to talk about. So I think Week 6 is back home. It's an afternoon game in Raymond James Stadium against the Green Bay Packers. Aaron Rodgers versus Tom Brady. This is a game that, we've been circling since the get-go. When we knew once Tom Brady signed with us. So, I know how much Green Bay is in your heart, John, so we'll start with you. How do you see this turning out?
Our team could go 1-15, but if we win this game and win it convincingly, I would still call this season a success.
A success, huh?
I hate the Green Bay Packers and everything they stand for. The only thing that makes me nervous about this game is Aaron Rodgers, as who I believe the second best quarterback in the game right now, and he really is, and that's going to make it difficult. This is going to be our first true test in the season of us being, if we're for real, the Green Bay Packers are typically always for real. This is a game where we're going to have to show who we really are as a team, and I have us coming out with a small, less than one score W in this game. Low scoring, Matt Gay gets it. We get them.
Yeah. I got this chalked up as a W again. Like, I just don't know. You got to look at the paper now, and it's just every time we're beating these teams. Yes, Aaron Rodgers is great. They didn't go out and get a wide receiver like everybody wanted to. Their draft didn't really make a whole lot of sense with Jordan Love, except for the future maybe, but not this season. So he's still throwing it to Devontae Adams and then Lazard, I think is his name. So I just think we're the better team. I hope the defense comes to play against Rodgers. I think, they have a couple of good pass rushers in Green Bay, but I really don't know their defense that well. But I think Tom Brady's going to have the offense in check. We're going to be starting to smooth some things out, and hopefully the train gets going here. So I got this chalked up as a W.
I think we're on agreement here. If this game's in Green Bay, chalk this one up in the L column for me, but it's not. It's in Tampa, and I think the crowd's going to be buzzing, and hopefully. But in any case, I do think that this will be a game that we don't, you don't need to get up for the Green Bay Packers. Green Bay Packers are coming to town. Our team's going to be set, going to be focused, going to be ready. And I think this is one game that, it's two really, future Hall of Fame quarterbacks going at each other. And I'm always going to give the home field advantage, or the team with the home field advantage, obviously, the win here. So luckily this one's here in Tampa. I agree. We get the W. We're off to a fantastic season.
Best start we've had in forever. All right. So far, we've got a couple of disagreements. Bryce and I have got the same track. John with just the one different opinion, but we all have the same record. That moves us to Week 7, away, another night game, this time in Las Vegas, the new Las Vegas Stadium against the Raiders, our old coach, John Gruden. I had this one circled before the season was even set. Now the schedule is set. Guys, what do we think? Let's start with John. John, what do you think? Raiders at Las Vegas.
I have a lot invested in this game, as it may be the game the Bucs Bros go to. This may be our away game for the season. Obviously, against Chucky, John Gruden is coaching the Raiders again. It's the team that we beat in the Super Bowl. It's our old coach. They've got Marcus Mariota on the squad now. There's so much in this game to be emotional about. And then there's just one thing to remember is that the Raiders are garbage. I think this is an easy W for the Bucs. I think we run away with it on them at night. I think we're going to have an absolute blast and enjoy the shit out of this one. I think the Bucs win this by 2 touchdowns, if not more.
Strong opinion. Bryce.
This game, like you said, John, I got a lot invested in it too because this is probably the game the Buc Bros are gonna as our away trip this year. So obviously, I'm hoping and praying that this is gonna be a win. I feel like this one is one of those letdown games where the crowd, we're coming off a big win against Green Bay. Obviously Oakland's going to be geared up to play us. Chucky's going to be geared up to play us. I think he's got a few things in mind that he's going to save for us and a few others, right? As much as I see that as being a trap game, I just have to look at the paper and just be like, there's just too much talent on our team for it to be, like we're gonna get like. And again, we have Brady. We don't have the turnover machine that is Jameis Winston that would cost you a game or two. So once again, I really just see again when I'm just comparing the rosters and what I know what teams are going to be capable of doing. I see this as another win.
Yep. I got us chalked up as a win too. Night game against Chucky. Got the makings of a great game. So much, a lot of storylines going into this one. The new Las Vegas team, Tom Brady coming into Las Vegas for the first time on a new team. It's going to be a nice game. I have us as a win. I don't think the Raiders are that strong. I like Derek Carr as a quarterback, but I just don't think they're going to be good enough to beat us. So there we are, week 7, and again, we are 6-1 on all of our predictions. So 6-1. Go to week 8.
Great. I don't remember the last time.
Yeah, I know.
We ever seen
like
has that ever been a thing?
So we're on week 8. We're almost halfway done. Week 8, New York again. Another night game. We're at New York.
Monday night, the first of our 2 Monday night games.
Monday night.
Bum, 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 bum.
So this time we'll start with Bryce. Night game at New York against Danny.
Night game at New York. The one team that has Brady's number, right? Eli Manning took 2 Super Bowls away from Tom Brady. And I don't know, for some reason, the Giants seem to have the Bucs number. Like last season, we were the complete better team, and we showed it for 3 quarters, and then we let them off the hook. But unfortunately, this one I do see as being a loss. I do think we'll take an L in the Meadowlands. I think it's hard to win back-to-back road primetime games, even though we'll have an extra day of preparation after a Sunday night game. I just see this as the Giants seem to have our number as and Brady's number for that matter. So this one I have as a loss.
You son of a bitch! You stole my. I have this one as a loss. I think the curse of Danny Dimes continues. Bryce and I were at that game last year. A lot of emotional investment in that game just to have dashed away at the last second. I think it's going to continue, and I just have a bad feeling about this one. Danny Dimes strikes again. That's an L for me. So we are still the same, Bryce. And I want you to know that I did not do it off of what you said. I had that in my mind way prior to saying it, so I had to keep going with it. John, New York?
This game, for me, if the Bucs can go into New York on Monday night and win convincingly, they don't lose again. I understand all the reasons why we believe this may be an L, but I believe that if this team can pull this off, they can beat any other team on the schedule. And that's exactly what I believe is going to happen. I think we go into New York. I think we get a Monday night win. I don't know when the last time the Bucs had a Monday night win was, but I think it's going to be an enjoyable win. And I think this is going to be one that the Bucs desperately need when they make a deep run into the playoffs. This is going to be an impressive win. I think this is one where we really show the world that we are not only a playoff contender, but a Super Bowl contender.
All right, guys. Well, that is our first half predictions for the NFL schedule or for the Bucs schedule for 2020. I mean, 7-1. Can we ask for a better start, guys? Well, sorry. John has us off to a 7-1 start. Ryan and I have us off to a 6-2 start. But either way, that's a great season to begin with.
Much better starts than what we've had.
That's right. So a lot to look forward to as we do our second half predictions. We got a lot of games that are going to be very critical. Week 9, Sunday night football against the Saints. We've got a Monday night football game at home against the Rams. We've got a Sunday afternoon game against the Chiefs. Woo, I mean, we got a tough schedule. So stay tuned, guys. We'll be on next week doing our second half predictions. But once again, thanks for tuning in, guys. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss anything upcoming. It's going to be a great season. And as always, guys, go Bucs!